But let's talk about some of the other science innovations, because it does feel, especially this week, when we're talking about the advances in AI, we hit a new, that's now something that feels like we've got natural language processing that can educate our kids and perhaps write our stories too, right?
Well, if you've had a chance to play with ChatGPT a little bit, it might be a nightmare for middle school teachers, but it doesn't really write at a level much
Yep. Eighth
beyond
grade, is
that.
that the barometer
Eighth
there?
grade, I'm going to say, is about the barometer, and even then, I toyed a lot with it, much to the chagrin of my colleagues because I kept posting screenshots. It's pretty easy to break. It's pretty easy to see where the seams in the programming are and things like that. So I do think that it's a pretty remarkable advance in kind of the evolution of AI. Is it that much better than Siri or Alexa? That's the thing that I wonder about.
It puts it on our radar in a different way, because and also what's interesting, it feels like AI was a scary bot that would come take your jobs. Now that we're, I don't know if jobs are plentiful, but there's still talent shortages. It feels like our mindset around AI has shifted to being a bit more positive. Is that fair to say, or am I being too
No, I
optimistic?
definitely think that's fair to say. And, machine learning has really advanced over the last few years. And you're seeing a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence applications in things like drug discovery. There was a company called AbCellera, which during the pandemic, they have a technology combining some traditional scientific drug discovery with some machine learning, and they were able to work with Lilly to put one of the first therapeutics on the market, which sadly COVID has mutated so much that initial treatment doesn't work anymore. They're able to do it very quickly, and that's in part because of some of the things that we've done in machine learning. But one thing that you learn if you dive really deeply into a lot of these machine learning applications is that the human element is still very important. And I always like to recommend Gary Kasparov's book, where he talks about how
this is the former chess great.
Former chess great,
anti-Putin chess great.
Yes,
I should add. Yeah.
and who famously lost to IBM's Deep Blue,
right,
like way back in the '90s with chess. But he's been a proponent of using using the advances of computing hand in hand with the things that humans are better at to kind of like get the best of both worlds. And there's actually been an interesting evolution in chess and AI. So in the world,
somebody really defeated Magnus Carlsen, is that it? As opposed to like, he cheated.
Well, no, I mean, computers have been able to beat chess players for forever. I mean, since the '90s, since Deep Blue, computers have only gotten better. But the way that the older style chess engines worked was very much kind of brute force. It was literally very quickly, this computer is calculating all the possibilities and picking the mathematically best one.
Blitzkrieg chess.
Exactly. Blitzkrieg chess is a great way to put it. But the newer chess models and other game models that have developed with the machine learning algorithms as opposed to this brute force computation have actually accelerated. Like, humans couldn't really learn anything from brute force calculation.
So is it more seductive form of chess?
It's a more seductive because it's better at strategy.
Okay.
The previous engines were great at tactics, but kind of lousy at strategy. But now we have got computers that develop lines of strategic thinking. Humans can learn from lines of strategic thinking.
Yeah.
And learn things like adding a little deception to your game of chess and adding more of that kind of human element. There's an article recently, and I can't remember what outlet, but if you look up...
Let's just say Forbes.
Just
pretend. We'll pretend it was Forbes.
I'm actually pretty sure it was The Atlantic. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But talking about how chess has started to take on a lot of the elements of poker, that has become a much more playing the player kind of game.
That's interesting. My son used to play chess and now loves poker.
Yeah, and that's because of a lot of the... There's a lot of crossover. So Jennifer Shaddad, who's one of a chess grandmaster, brilliant tournament player. She's also works with one of the online poker companies and is a big poker player and a spokesperson for poker.
The Queen's Gambit has, I'm sure, brought a lot more girls into chess.